I have the Samsung Galaxy S26 here, and today we'll be running this phone through the standard Work 3.0 benchmark tests with the application PCMark. But I have the phone hooked up to the PC via a USB cable. So we're also going to be collecting data that details the visual stuttering or hiccups that users sometimes perceive when an application fails to render frames on time. So let's go ahead and run that benchmark now, and then we'll both go over all of the data together at the end. You'll notice I already have PCMark installed on this phone, with the Work 3.0 benchmark test already downloaded as well. But I'm going to launch the benchmark from the PC here. And I'll be sure to bring up this terminal window here on the screen so that you can see both at the same time. So we have our overall scores right here, with the Work 3.0 performance overall score getting 20,437. We have the web browsing 3.0 tests that scored 24,941. But when we look at the video editing 3.0 scores, we see an overall score of 8,228. Surprisingly, the video editing and playback is the weakest link in this work suite for the Galaxy S26. Now, a possible reason for why this might be could be due to the current firmware not fully leveraging hardware acceleration for the specific codecs that are being used in this test. Then again, a score like this could be the result of a scheduled downclocking that's happening during sustained playback. An interesting data point, to say the least. PCMark's Writing 3.0 tests got a score of 29,819. And seeing these results, it shows the S26 excels at bursty JavaScript execution and PDF rendering. So that will mean the device is going to feel incredibly snappy when jumping between 50 plus Chrome tabs or when compiling very large documents on the go. We have a photo editing 3.0 score here of 38,355. And this indicates the ISP and the NPU are working in perfect harmony, which means you should see a near instantaneous exports on high resolution RAW files and zero lag when you apply complex AI masks or filters in photo editors. And with the data manipulation 3.0 benchmark tests, we got a score of 15,191. So we're looking at some monster synthetic numbers from this benchmark here today. And you can see why some folks have been calling the Galaxy S26 the creative burst king. Because the raw scores that we see here suggest this device is tuned for high intensity, short duration tasks rather than sustained linear workloads. Now let's dive into the UI Jank report, because I'm not sure if you noticed, but each time the terminal printed out a Jank percentage that was above 0, we can see the frame time of that in this graph here. And if you watch back through the benchmark again, you'll notice those hiccups should line up with the exact moment that the benchmark missed its mark on the phone. Some of these are nothing more than transitions from one set of tasks to another, but having this data on hand will be great as I'm able to do these tests on more smartphones, and over time, that will give us a better point of comparison. Looking at the sustained performance timeline, we see a very unusual pattern here. With a jank rate of almost 28%, that's pretty high for a flagship. And the P9 latency of 43.25 milliseconds, we're actually seeing occasional micro freezes here that users will definitely notice during those heavy multitasking sessions. And that helps solidify that the Galaxy S26 has been optimized as a productivity sprinter, not a marathon runner. These tests not only show it absolutely obliterating the photo editing and web workflows, the terminal ceiling is set remarkably low. So if I had to guess, I would think that Samsung has tuned this phone to stay cool to the touch at all costs. But the trade-off is a 28% jank rate that pops up right away when you're pushing the phone to its limits. The hit to sustained performance probably won't matter for most people, but longer multitasking sessions and PC game emulation especially, you'll want an external cooler for the most optimal performance of the Galaxy S26.